That should just about do it. Seems to me. Right then. Now, it uses cargo generate. So if I do, need to go and get the branch. To believe this branch of 0.15 that Piraeus has created. And we'll just shamelessly yoink that. Shamelessly. Absolutely shamelessly. Also be a good chance to test it. I think you can specify branch on the command line, right? Hey, Fanny. I swear I saw a fantail, but you're probably right. It was probably a sparrow just flashing its tail. Oh, hey, Lycan. How you doing? So I want to say, oh yeah, you can specify branch. Okay, good. So let's go. Actually, I don't think we need to do that anymore though. It just does it automatically. So let's try this. And into okay, so that was wrong. First time chat from Lycan. Oh, it's a private? Really? Is it just that it doesn't know that I am logged in? Oh, actually, it will need to be. I wonder if it'll let me do this. It will not. Okay. All right. All right. What about what about why can't I read from that branch? Why can't I do that? I do not know. Should not need to authenticate to get in order to. Oh, I bet I know. I'm going to need to do that off screen real quick. I bet my get settings are weird. There's something about forcing it to clone using. Forcing cargo to clone using SSH instead of HTTPS. Something about cargo get authentication. Doesn't support shorthand URLs. Oh, interesting. I did not know that. All right, so let's try this. Nope. Did I spell it wrong? Doesn't look like I did. Indeed. It's something like if you see an HTTPS URL, just rewrite it as a SSH. I have not encountered this in a while and I can't remember how to deal with it. Oh, repo.get maybe? Surely not. Oh, wait. Update deps is a branch, not a... I'm a dick. Still bad. Right, so update deps has to be specified as... like that. Still couldn't do it. Failed to canonicalize path. I can barely pronounce that. Aha. Okay, that worked. All right, good to know. 6 false attempts and then the 7th worked. How appropriate. Okay, and if I build and run that, I will get a noisy little game. I'll probably have to turn the volume down for immediately. That's what'll have to happen. Immediate volume down. But at least I'll know things are working. It'll be 15, man. It's almost out. Just arrived. It's good. It's nice to be getting back to basics after all these experiments. Ordinary bleeding edge Bevy development. People are actually working on a Bevy editor now. It's pretty exciting. Ordinary level editing, that'd be pretty cool. Just be able to place my hexagons where I want them. I don't even have a supported tiling library yet. I bet ECS tile map hasn't been updated. I have to go and have a look. Never mind. We'll figure something out. For that matter, the resource loading library probably hasn't been updated either. Seems to me. That's right. I wonder if Leafwing Input Manager has been, because it's been pretty busy. Definitely going to need a cup of tea soon. Don't forget the tea. Tea is important. This will be my first time using required components. Okay, so that's running. This is probably going to play a loud noise. Oh, it's not too bad. Okay, cool. So that's working. Credits is going to play some music. And exit's working. Cool. Very nice. I may as well approve their PR. Child build workaround is probably not ideal. Also checked and working here. Let's have a quick review of what's going on. So version update. Run system cached with. Oh, right. That's changed from run system once. Okay. All right. Apparently it returns something now. Right. So now instead of texture atlases, we have sprites, which contain a texture atlas. And playback settings is moved outside audio player, but is a required component. What is sex, really? I thought that, interesting. CS world command. Oh, right. Run system once isn't a thing anymore. Run system cached with spawn player. And then there's no more camera 2D bundle. It's just a camera 2D. And then has become and finally. Took a while. Commands Q instead of commands add. Same with audio player. Insert node instead of insert style. Node has its own styles, funnily enough. UI image new. What was the workaround that he used? They used. Oh, the child build thing. So we can't use children spawn anymore. Interesting. So that is because why? I guess this is in expectation of the Bevy scene stuff, the BSN showing up. So is that what people are going to be doing in the meantime? Is instead of children spawn, we're going to use child build spawn? What was said about that in the Discord? Where are we? crates. He said, looking at his other monitor, Bevy new 2D. If in spawn on the struct child builder was moved to the trait child build. So now in method resolution, child builder spawn doesn't know if we mean child build spawn or spawn spawn because they're both trait methods. Huh. Oh well, doesn't stop merge anyway. No idea what to say about the child build issue, but guess it doesn't stop a merge. Doesn't block a merge. Won't matter that I approve it because I don't think I'm on this repo, but never mind. Can't hurt. Okay. So now we've got that running. Therefore, we finished the first task. I wish it wouldn't collapse when I do that. All right. Transpose delve into the new format. Yeah, so this is going to be where the challenge arises because I don't know if we've got 0.15 branches for all the things we're going to need. For example, what about Bevy asset loader? Do we have a 15 branch? Got a lot of branches. Have a 15 issue or a 15 request? Make substates work. Doesn't look like we got one yet. Really? It's interesting. So I'm guessing they won't necessarily do it until after release, but let's just check. No. And no. Any reason it wouldn't work? There's probably a ton of reasons it wouldn't work, but I don't know. We can try just depending on main branch and see what happens. What are the recent commits? Just last month. And we don't have any more recent development branches or anything like that. Doesn't look like it. Okay, well, let's just try it experimentally. First of all, let's do a few structural things. Let's go through the list in README. Yep, Kaga generate. And there's a string to search on, right? Oh yeah, the fast builds thing we need to fix. So let's do that. This needs to be copied to config toml. And we want mold. Actually, it's probably faster if I just copy in a file from elsewhere. So let's go with three, no, either either or unnamed. Yeah, there we go. That's the ticket. That'll do us. And we'll be using oh, where's the one where I enabled strange shapes is the one where I enabled what's it called again? Cogen crane lift. Crane lift is the beast. That seems to make things quite a bit faster. So that's our little plotted config for this one. Nice, good stuff. And then we will take a quick look through the various. There go the dogs. The various build files and workflows. Yeah, so we need to do a little bit of creative editing here. First of all, we'll look at release. I'm very happy to push on tag those, build on tags. Those are really helpful. We're just going to use the name 6 locally. Actually, we should use the name delve locally. I think I just named it. The full name is 6 ways to delve, but I think I just named it delve locally. Do I have a delve directory? I do not. Okay. That's good. So let's do that right now. Let's do that right now. And then we will find any mention of 6. Magical. And just moving through them. Probably won't even use these, but you never know. And then we'll look in workflows. That becomes delve. It's the full name. Display name is the full name. $15 or fewer. I think that's still fine. Cool. Now, first of all, we'll be disabling macOS builds. Because they be spendy. Spendy, spendy, spendy. And that means that this one is going to fail. I think it's 6 is going to fail. Yeah, this thing. That should be better. Okay, so we're not going to build for macOS. We are going to build for Windows. And we're going to build for, what's it called? itch.io. So we'll go to itch.io. Ooh, Hexlife is a bit of a flashbang. Why have I got 6 notices? Just build notifications. Okay, dashboard. Lots of false starts. Look, that tells a story, doesn't it? Just jam games and shit. Actually, hang on. Do I already have one? I do, right? I do not. Maybe I shouldn't. Do I really want a web build at this stage? Would be convenient in a way, but it depends on your target, right? Like this has always been, the idea has always been to get it out onto Steam. Huh. Woodstone. So yeah, I mean, maybe it's not a good idea for me just to keep publishing to Itch all the time. What does it give me? Do I get to see if it works with WASM, but do I really care about that? I don't know. Maybe I don't build for WASM all the time. All right. So in that case, maybe I disable WASM as well. Interesting. How your priorities shift. We're getting serious, man. We're getting serious. All right, cool. So just Linux and Windows builds on the regular just to see that they keep working. And then let's let us get cracking into this. So we can remove the docs folder. We can remove the README, I think. Don't think I need that anymore. And we're going to do I have a repo in here? I do, but it's for the website. So let's create a new one. Underscore dash. Let's just call it delve. Private for now. And then we will go get remote add origin. Actually, is there already one? No. Remote add origin, get at eloquent geek delve. All right. And we don't want to commit most of this stuff, so we won't commit just yet. First of all, we will remove demo. And then we'll go ahead and look at libs. So most of this will break. Keep the DevTools stuff. What's your problem? Oh, Rust Analyzer is still updating. Okay, DevTools, screens, and theme. So let's, what other errors have we got in here? Here we go. Cool. Okay, so let's look at screens. Don't need quotes for that. Or that. Now, I've never particularly liked, well, I don't like gameplay. I much prefer playing. Credits is fine. So splash loading title, sure. Playing in a quite like an over state. Like we're at game over, but we haven't gone back to the title. So it's like you might still be displaying some of the screen. You might be displaying a message on the screen. You might have dimmed it out or grayed it out, but you haven't gone back to the title yet. I also like these to be in order. So that's the way we'll go. Not sure about credits versus about. Yeah, I don't care enough. Okay, so it's got the screen names all correspond with the plugin. So gameplay needs to be playing. And then that doesn't exist. So we need to find gameplay and move it to the same directory, playing. And asset tracking a load resource. A lot of that stuff is going to go away. And we're probably not going to do a load resource like that anyway. Comment that out to leave a note for ourselves. All instances of gameplay need to... Oh, yeah, sneeze. If I was a professional streamer and had a snooze button, I would have used it then, but I'm not. Okay, gameplay becomes playing. And this spawn level command we'll just comment out for now. Certainly we're not going to be playing Fluffing a Duck. And we're not implementing From World for music because, we'll be relying on Bevy Asset Loader to load the asset. We might scope it, but we'll see. So there's a few to-dos in here. But in the meantime, most of this will get commented out. Just so that we don't get pummeled with errors on builds. Oh, I see. Okay. So use some of that for reference, but we won't need most of it. You just need to be disciplined about not keeping a whole bunch of commented out code hanging around. So we'll go back to screens. Gameplay not found. Yeah, we're probably not going to need that because we're going to do it using Bevy Asset Loader. Ah, what's wrong with me? That's what I was trying to do. Okay, back to screens. Over is never constructed. I think that's what it's warning me about. Like to prefer not to have a whole bunch of warnings floating around, so we'll avoid that where possible. And then we'll look at credits and we'll rip almost all of this out. Won't be using the ducky sprite. We won't be using button SFX unless we make it. And we won't be playing credits music. At least not this credits music. We only need one example of that in the application. Cool. How close are we to being able to build, I wonder? Let's look at menu, or what is it, title? And the various buttons and sound effects. Let's see. The various buttons and sound effects. Let's look at, no, hang on. Now the button has got observers on it that play sounds, I do believe. But actually I've managed to jump straight into Bevy source code without meaning to, I think. It's in theme, I do believe. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's in here. Interaction? Yeah. Sound effect. And where is that sound effect kept? Oh, here. Okay. Button hover, OGG. Um, and then a pathway for loading them. I'm very content to just copy any or all of this example when I need it, but I don't really want it hanging around at the moment. I suppose one way around that would be just to use my own sounds that I know are mine. So for that, I could go into what does tap sound like? It's kind of loud. What about thud? Thud is a good kind of selection sound, and tap might be a good just hover sound, I suppose. All right, cool. So let's move or copy. Third. assets, audio, sound effects. And then we'll do the same thing, except tap. Okay. And now we can just use them. Yeah. Now I'm not needing to credit anybody else's sounds. And I also don't need to load them. So I don't need the from world, right? I can just use Bevy Asset Loader to grab them. In fact, I don't think I even need interaction assets. I'll just create stuff for Bevy Asset Loader. I don't even know if it's going to work with 15 though, so that could be a neat problem to have. It's got this dependency thing on it, which makes it load it, which I think is really cool. So it's more likely to look like trigger interaction sound effects. Changed interaction. So that means the first time after they've been added or mutably dereferenced. So I don't think I need to spawn, wait. I think I just do this. Instead of interaction assets, I use sound effects, which is going to be a res sound effects. And that is going to be using Bevy Asset Loader. Hopefully sound effects isn't a Bevy thing. No. So instead of this, we're going to use sound effects tap clone and third clone. Oh, that's probably not illegal. Yeah, we'll do that. And then play it. Yes, the sound effects doesn't exist yet. That's okay. We can make it work. So we're probably going to do a cargo add Bevy. Is it underscore? It is not. Interesting, it doesn't have the 2D feature by default. I wonder what that does. So we'll look at cargo because we probably want to be using the main branch. Although it probably won't make much difference, but you never know. Oh, what are we talking about here? Ah, yes, it's Nicholas I1. And we'll see if it comes even close to working. So we'll go to asset tracking. completely clear that out. And we'll load, I guess, the one from Strange Shapes. Bevy asset loader. And it says audio assets, but I'm going to select, I'm going to go with sound effects. We're going to remove scene assets. Because we're not doing 3D right now, folks. We're just not doing it. It was an interesting adventure. But no more. You know what? That's more sensible. Rust Analyzer quit. Great. I think I just broke it. No matching language servers. Okay, let's go back to where we were. We're not going to have credits music. And sound effects. Hover. And sound effects button press. Or is it button hover? Button hover, button press. Okay. We're going to need Rust Analyzer to work, so we better find out if this is just going to break. Which probably will. Okay, that is improving. But this is not required. Nor is this. I don't think. Most of this seems to be okay. Let's go back to asset tracking. What's going on here? Oh, right. So is this failing to build because of 0.15 maybe? Seems likely. Seems very, very likely. Not surprising. I wonder how hard it would be to convert. Um, Normally, Nicholas is really quick about changing all of this. We're going to have some ads in a sec, so I'm going to make another cup of tea. Okay. Now, oh yeah. So the question here is, we is Bevy Asset Loader just not going to work, which is entirely possible. We shouldn't expect it to work right away before they've had a chance to update. So one way we could do that would be to just check for ourselves. Oh, I thought I'd have a copy. And look at cargo. Oh, okay, we got two crates, two workspaces. Now, what is it? 15.0-RC.1. Okay, let's see if Bevy Asset Loader Derive also has a Bevy dependency. It does not. Okay, I strongly suspect this won't build, but you never know. You just never know. Okay. System RS. What has Rust Analyzer got to say for itself? Catch up, because at the moment I think it's just worried about building. Oh, yep. Oh boy. Okay. That's right, because we did a big reconfigure. Well, they did. Yeah. It's been a whole lot of refactoring done. Okay, so depending on asset loader is probably not the way to win here. So the question is, do you downgrade from 15 to 14.2 or seems certain that ECS tile map won't have updated. It might have a branch running though. They often do. Um, Doesn't look like we got one in the offering. Well, that's ancient. Hmm. Wait, has our parent and Chris, have they jumped in to do some management on this repo? Oh, okay. Hmm. Right. When was this? July. Nice. Ultimately merged to Bevy. Yeah. Upstreaming is going to be interesting because I think a lot of people have strong opinions about having that kind of one tile per ECS entity pattern. Okay, there wasn't a cargo release targeting 13 or 14. I didn't realize that. So now there might not be one targeting 15. So that's going to be exciting. uh, got PRs from September. My parents probably got all sorts of other work to get done. They're really busy, from what I understand. So, what are the odds of there actually being a 15 PR? Maybe I should pivot and help with that. Oh, God, how hard would it be, though? Because this is a absolutely key part of the game. I didn't actually realize there wasn't a 14 release. Hmm. I mean, I could start, but it's going to be a big job. Always been kind of curious about the internals. But if I don't have it, then my choices are to use 12 or 13. I think it will probably work with 14. What does it say in the docs? Oh, yeah, it works with 14. Oh, how far down the rabbit hole do we go? Because we've got to wait for stable releases of Bevy Asset Loader anyway. Well, unless we want to do all the asset loading ourselves, which doesn't sound like fun. Um, let's clone it and see what happens. What's the worst thing that could happen? Massive sidetrack. Now, is this my fork or is this... This is not a fork. Let's make it one. Uh, Bevy ECS Tomat. Oh, I've already forked it, so that should be fine. All right. It depends on 14.0. That's interesting. 0.15.0-RC.1. There will be so many problems. I hate to think. I hate to think. Let's just look at them. Let's just gently look at them and see what happens. Because you just never know when you could do something really useful. And we are going to need this library or something equivalent to it. I don't know what the alternatives are at the moment. Oh boy. All right. Let's start by just getting a sense of everything. Lots of docs. I wish the docs were wrapped, but never mind. Okay. Well, lib works. Sort of. Bundles. Bundles don't exist anymore. Let's find some errors. So many errors. So many errors. What's the first one? Bevy render mesh GPU buffer info. And there's even WGSL in here. Of course there is. Wait for Rust Analyzer to catch up. Who needs a team shout out there? Booyah! Love it. Okay. Now, there are no errors in this file. What's going on? Oh, yes, there are. Missing match arm. Oh, hi. The dogs have arrived. Hi, puppies. Um, Missing match error invalid sampler type. So I'm guessing that this has just hit Bevy. So let's find out. Pull requests? No. Interesting. Same error here. Yeah. Expected 3 arguments, found 4. Material tile map layout. Let's go back to this first error. Wonder if there's a way to make build stop on the first error. Like a fail fast kind of thing. Chunk RS. Seems like a good place to start. Wait for Rust Analyzer. There we go. Oh, I can't find diagnostics. So why is build complaining? What was it looking for? Mesh something or other? Bevy render mesh GPU buffer info. These will have been moved in the refactor. First of March. Intune mesh vertex buffer layouts. Duplicate mesh vertex buffer layouts are now combined into a single object. May need to be updated to use mesh vertex buffer layout ref instead. Damn, where was it again? Chunk. Here we go. Mesh vertex buffer layouts. Here we go. Mesh vertex buffer layout, which Bevy ECS time map calls and render chunk 2D prepare. So Chris has already dealt with it. Interesting. So I'm sure this is to do with the refactor. I think it was GPU mesh, right? Because I know they shifted a lot of stuff around. Yeah, GPU mesh can't be found, but for some reason, Rust Analyzer isn't complaining about it. Maybe it's just died. Entities is fine, GPU mesh is not. It's probably just moved somewhere. If you rendered GPU mesh in 14.2, have they generated docs for 15 RC1? They have, yes. Nice. Bevy PBR GPU mesh pre-process plugin. Okay, so is GPU mesh not a thing anymore? Interesting. Or have I just not enabled a feature that it needs? Let's look at the latest one. GPU mesh has been renamed to render mesh, I saw. Okay. What else? The responsibility for the buffers has been moved from render mesh to mesh allocator. To access the vertex data from mesh, use mesh vertex slice, mesh index slice. Hmm. The mesh allocator resource. Is there an example? Render mesh, render mesh. Oh, but that's all, unfortunately. Now we've got mesh allocator. And you would need a mesh allocator. Is the render assets used in here? Hmm. Okay, so there's no vertex buffer in here. Where was that defined? Mesh get vertex buffer data. Instead, you would be using a mesh allocator. Ooh, this is getting into territory I'm not good at all. I'm afraid. Good to learn about it. Does that function actually exist? No, I suspect it does not. Mesh vertex buffer layouts. So the description says meshes no longer have their own vertex and index buffers. The responsibility has moved to the mesh allocator resource. To access the vertex data from mesh, use mesh allocator mesh vertex slice. Returns the buffer and range within that buffer of the vertex data for the mesh with a given ID. Mesh instance mesh asset ID. So this needs to be, I need a mesh allocator. Oh, hey, no, sadly I'm not, or perhaps gladly. How you doing, Mordjo? No, I'm working on Linux. Silicon, indeed. No matter how impressive the performance is, it's still frustrating. Okay, so we need an instance of the mesh allocator, right? The resource. Ooh, this stuff is a little over my head. Where is mesh allocator actually defined? System param item? The fuck? So in here, we in a system? Looks like we are. Hmm. No, we're not. So how do I get the mesh allocator? During construction? Self mesh, self size and tiles. It feels like we've got a mesh and we've added an option render mesh. I guess we would need mesh allocator. I don't even know if I'm allowed to do that. Hmm. Distinct sense of being out of my depth. Yeah, mine will soldier on. Where is this created? Render chunk 2D. Something that returns a render chunk 2D. Hmm. So the render mesh is not passed in. Missing mesh allocator, right. Self GPU mesh is some render mesh. How do I get the mesh allocator in the first place? What does system param item do? Shorthand way of accessing the associated type system param item for a given system param. Doesn't tell me very much. Intended for advanced users, yeah. Um, but in order to convert away from GPU mesh, I need mesh allocator mesh vertex slice. So I need to get a copy of mesh allocator. Wait, world resource. So if I can get, okay, if I have access to world, I can get it that way. Do I have access to world? Where are you? Here. Do we have a world available in this? Hmm. It was in prepare, wasn't it? You are not prepared. Self device mesh. How can I get world essentially injected as a dependency into that? Maybe instead of mesh vertex buffer layouts, does that even exist anymore? Apparently so. So that's a good question to be answered. Like, how do you get world? Like, does cheat book have, at what point, what did I say? Cheat book. um, at what point can you get world? Where is it available? To do, write code example. Damn it. Exclusive systems, from world, app builder, and custom commands. Is that what this one was doing? It was using system param. But I think that's, well, that's within an impl. Oh man, I'm so confused. It's good though. People ought to be confused every once in a while, or every day. Where is world available? GPU mesh, whoops. Should now be render mesh. I don't know if we necessarily need the mesh allocator to be stored on the object. We just need access to it so that we can get the vertices. So that can come off. But yeah, we do need this one. Self mesh get vertex buffer data is no longer a thing. Just to prove it, it was in it's got to get vertex buffer size. But if you go to 14, get vertex buffer data used to be a thing. Okay. So how do I get mesh allocator? I'm in an implementation block for the chunk, right? For a render chunk 2D. I guess you have to call it from where chunk new is called. We get the references to that. We find this on 84. And it's called from get or add. And if we look at the references to that, then we find it in prepare. Does that have world? Oh my God. Actually, it does. Because we should be able to have app world here, right? Um, yeah, we should be able to make it work from here, or we can just use the resource. So mesh allocator, res mesh allocator. Ooh, we're getting somewhere, sort of. It's going to be a freaking huge function, but that's okay. We don't have the chunk ID yet, right? So we need to pass a reference to the mesh allocator, or actually don't know. Let's find out what happens. It'll be an error. But it's actually not the mesh allocator, it's a reference, right? So I don't know how this works. Now seems to want to think maybe it might work. Surrender chunk new. And then does it call prepare? I guess we just continue to pass mesh allocator. I don't even know. Ah, stone. I'm showing incredibly boring rusty things. They're not going to want to look at this. Thank you very much for the raid. How did your stream go? It's a wardrobe raid. I already shouted you out. I'm going to do it again. I don't care. Mags. He ran away. He ran away as soon as you came. It's fickle. Fickle and flighty. Stream went good? Nice. Scared of you? What did you say? Oh, hey, Fuzzy. You were there for a while, I know. How's everybody doing tonight? You're there for a whole about 5 seconds. 5 seconds is a long time in Tron. Here's what happened tonight. I decided I was going to start back on my main game and stick to it. And then I discovered that none of the libraries I needed were updated for Bevy 15. And now I'm in the weeds trying to update one of them. Time zones aren't on our side. Time zones aren't on our side. Right, it's 7 minutes past 9. It's past my bedtime. Mesh allocator. Mesh allocator. Mesh allocator. Mesh allocator. It's not an alligator. It's an allocator. Where's the next error? Render mesh. What do we call prepare? We call it there. That's where we call prepare. Hey, Matt Birdsquist. You came in with a raid. Excellent. You went from a place of color and light and humor to a place of blue screen of Vim with rust on it. Highly entertaining. So much text. Just past 9. I am in Kiwi land. I am in Auckland. West Auckland, as a matter of fact. Where do we call prepare? We're so close. We've got mesh allocator there. And we pass it to get or add there. And then we pass it where? Far west? Far enough. Not quite all the way out to Piha or anything like that. Pretty west or Auckland west? Well, we got trees all around us. Then we pass it to render chunk new. And then that's where the trail runs cold. Render mesh is set to none. And then we've got nowhere to send mesh allocator. That's pretty west. It is pretty west. It's like GeoGuess, but worse. We have the telephone poles with wires on them and the roads that keep falling apart. Prepare. That's when we call chunk prepare on line 194. Falling apart roads is all of Auckland. You know it. Well, I mean, you kind of got me there. You kind of got me there. Where is this? Oh, we're going to play some ads in a sec. That's not my fault. It's Twitch's fault. I do apologize. It's in. Oh, it's in prepare. Wait, so you call. So there's crate prepare and chunk prepare. Or is it just that? Oh, I'm so confused right now. So confused. It is called here on Material RS. Central Auckland gang. Oh, you're very South Auckland. Oh, there you go. So south it's flat and you have to travel by boat for part of the journey. What? Oh, okay. So that's extremely south. That's you could say that you're north Invercargill, basically. You live in North Bluff. The northern region of Stewart Island. I think if I'm failing at the first hurdle here, I might be a little out of my depth. Just a tiny bit out of my depth. I just don't know when to stop. That's my problem. So do we have world available here? Not Stewart Island, only one boat required. Oh, fair enough. Oh, we got ads. My Discord is not in West Auckland. Well, I suppose it is, in a way. Uh-oh. Puppy cam fell off. Gave the puppies a fright. There we go. Hmm. How can I make the mesh allocator available where it's needed? Which is in prepare. It's in here. Oh, prepare is just an ordinary resource. Oh, I've got it there. I'm a dick. Okay, this is way easier than I thought it was going to be. It's so much easier. At least, maybe? Yeah, we just have to pass it in here. Probably not even mutable. Do some real engineering. Use a vice grip. I've got a vice grip. That's a freaking great idea. Oh my God. Hang on a sec. I'm getting my vice grip. Why didn't I think of that? I've got clamps. I've got freaking clamps I could be using. Hang on a sec. Nothing. Okay. This is very smart. Down Wellyways? Nice. You're in the same region as the Coppinger? Old Charlie? Look, check it. Vice grips. Very sensible engineering solution. Now let's see. How wide can I make these? Because that could be the determining issue here because it's quite a wide desk. Oh, thanks for the follow. Can I get them? Oh, we lost it. Camera overboard. Hang on. Has to be so I can still adjust it a little bit because the dogs move around being dogs. And I can't like crush it. Might actually not be big enough. Hang on. I might need to go for the other clamp. This is very important engineering work I'm doing. Hang on. Okay. What about this? Think maybe puppy cam solution. Okay. We give it a try. It's got to adjust to the correct width, and hopefully they don't like the problem is that it's got a big I could put it upside down. The dogs don't like injure themselves on it. It is right where my mic boom goes, but we can fix that. Yeah. Is that going to stay there is the question. Well, it's an improvement on the old Rust textbook that was holding it up. What range of camera angles do we get here? More carpenter than engineer, but you'll allow it? Well, true. True. See, I need to be able to... maybe if I put it on the other side. Oh! Yeah, it's a precarious arrangement, this. Okay, now, can we still... Yeah, the difficulty is that we can't... The clamp is in a position where we can't swing the camera down here. Hang on. Version 3. Okay, so we can get as far down as that. Ted's head's off the bed, but that's his fault. You're going to watch some horror. Okay, mate. I thought you already were. All right, and then we can go up as far as that. That's pretty good. All right. Magic. Very sensible advice there. Fuzzy, well done. The fact that Ted's head is out of shot is his fault, not mine. Excellent. Take a picture of that. As an extremely competent addition to the stream. Puppycam version 3. Share. Discord. Discord? Where's my Discord? There it is. Glad I could help someone. All I did in Ward Stream was show him some boobies. Puppy cam 2.0. Strictly speaking, it should go and I did a thing, but really you did a thing. Oh shit. No, no, no. I just sent it to the wrong general. Delete, 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 delete message. that was not my Slack, not my Discord. Hang on a sec. Very rapid delete. Two point oh credits. Fuzzy algorithm. Yeah, it is actually a little wonky now that you mention it. Now that you mention it, oh, it's so much better. It's not going to fall off now. The only trouble is it's a little tall for the old mic boom, but we can deal. We can deal. Not a problem. Not a problem. Oh dear. It's not like we don't invest in extremely high tech around here. Okay, let's see if we can fix this one problem. So it's mesh allocator. What is the actual name of the function? It's not this PR. It's not this PR, is it? Yes, it is. Mesh vertex slice is the name of the function. Which takes an asset ID mesh. Is there an asset ID value? Let's look at the docs. One cannot spell slice, apparently. No, apparently there is a mesh asset ID. I'm thinking this isn't going to work, but at least the function exists. Oh, the mesh is actually a rendered chunk 2D. Oh, no. Mesh. Which dog is Rusty? It's a very good point. It's a very good point. We came within a hair's breadth of grabbing another foster dog the other day, but we're just not in a great place for it right now. 2 is a lot. But yeah, Rusty or Ferris or Bevy. We could call it Bevy. Probably call it the borrow checker. It borrows food and never returns it. Actually, most dogs should be called garbage collectors, to be perfectly honest with you. Okay, so mesh hopefully has a mesh asset ID on it. So I wonder if this would be enough to make it build. Because if this is the case, then we don't need to pass that function to... We don't need to pass the mesh allocator to anywhere else. Like here. Or here. Or here. But we do need it here, right? Yeah. Okay. So it's going to break again, but let's just see how it breaks. It's going to be so many errors, but we go all the way to the top. And we find the first one to see if it's changed. Oh, we got two imports of render mesh. See, that's the kind of thing Rusty got me saying it now. Rust Analyzer should have told me about. See if it can find any other problems. It's gradually building. No, it can't. So one thing we could do would be cargo build RG, I think mesh allocator. That didn't work. Okay. Unresolved import GPU buffer info. Oh, really? Okay. So, yeah, you're right. It has no idea where that is. So let's see if that's been moved. Does it still exist even? Apparently not. Was that part of this? Actually, yes. Now it's called render mesh buffer info. You agree? Thanks, Lakin. I'm glad you're on the side of me getting a third dog. It's concerning. Okay, so render mesh buffer info. And now it doesn't have a buffer field. Hmm. About the most useful thing I built tonight is um is a clamp. But that's okay. I just realized my desk is super messy, but never mind. You'd think I would have realized that before now. Probably need to start thinking about going to bed. so that I can get up and do it all again in the morning. I'd love to get this to the point where it built. So render mesh buffer info no longer has a buffer field. Hmm. Yeah, it removes buffer and now it has index format and count. Well, it still did. Mesh index slice. Hmm. So I guess where did buffer get defined in the original? Hmm. Looks like buffer pretty much has to come out. I don't really know what is this replaced with, if anything. What other errors have we got? None? Right, let's try another build. GPU buffer info in render drawer. Oh man. Cannot find type mesh allocator and prepare. Render mesh buffer info. Um, where does that buffer even come from? Okay. Okay, that's gone. Try again, see if we at least got rid of this error. Cannot find value buffer in the scope. Right. So that was in draw RS. Yeah, buffer slice. What on earth? Oh, I see. So it's supposed to be providing that. We can't anymore. I just want to get it to build at this point. Not that it will, because there's like a zillion other errors. But I think that we actually got to the next one. So we will finish there because that is pretty, that's not too bad. I was surprised I got as far as I did. Like really surprised. Um, cool. So let's try finding someone to raid. We're all the teamies. Snenko's on. I think Snenko's playing something with some of the others. Let's go to who haven't we raided lately? Clayman. Let's raid Clayman. Thanks everybody for hanging out with my boring Rust. Yeah, he's slacking off and playing games. I know, right? How dare they? And thanks for fixing my camera. I appreciate it. And Lycan and Fanny, I hope you have a good camp and I hope it doesn't rain too much. See you later.